And another one, in my DJ KHALID voice, it continues to rain on Diddy as another woman just came out in a matter of hours alleging she was also sexually assaulted by Diddy in 2003. And you're not going to believe how it all went down. It's going to sound, so familiar. Stay tuned.
Don't nobody go in the bathroom for about 45 minutes.
You done fucked up, you know that, don't you?
You got knocked the fuck out!
What's happening? A former model claims that Diddy played on her desires to become successful. So Diddy gave the impression he would help advance the model's career. He was definitely in position. CEO of badboyrecords, a host of businesses on the come up. Remember, this was 2003, and she wanted her career to be advanced more than anything else in the world. Little did she know that Diddy was a monster. So she thought that he was on the brink of helping her advance her career, only to be hoodwinked, drugged, and allegedly sexually assaulted by this monster. Crystal McKinney, a former model, has decided to come out and file a sexual assault lawsuit against Diddy. Well, Crystal, join the club. You have many other neighbors in this club, and all of the claims are very, very similar.
Yes.
And wait until you hear her claims. It's going to knock your socks off. Now, Crystal alleges in 2023, she attended a men's fashion week at the Cipriani downtown in New York City. Crystal says she met Diddy there and was invited to go back to his studio. According to McKinney, shortly after their arrival, Diddy and friends were drinking and smoking weed, right? So Crystal says she took a hit of the weed and remembered the weed being super duper strong, like different weed. In fact, the weed was so strong it made her feel like she was floating. She also claims the weed was laced. I don't know with what, but she claims the weed was laced, and she described how she felt as a result. She continues saying, Diddy then demanded she follow him into the bathroom. Dun, 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 dun. Here come Diddydevil. Now, she then says Diddy forced himself on her, started kissing her, and then pushed her down in order to imply he wanted her to give him head. So Crystal says she initially refused, but Diddy wouldn't take no for an answer. Take that, take that, take that. That's what he's accustomed to. That's why it's raining on Diddy right now. That's why the sociopath is on the brink of going to jail. That's why this narcissist was lying about I didn't do anything. They're on a witch hunt. They're on a paper chase, only to now look like a liar and being exposed in the worst possible way. So they didn't get specific, but I guess Crystal did what he wanted her to do. And then the only thing she remember after that is walking away and then waking up groggy in the back of a taxi cab, realizing like, oh my God, trying to put the pieces together and connect the dots, realizing I was sexually assaulted. Can you imagine what that feels like? Can you imagine? And if you do know what it feels like, my heart goes out to you. But just imagine, try to empathize with Crystal McKinney. Shame on you, Diddy. She realized she was sexually assaulted and to add insult to injury, Crystal says that she was blackballed from the modeling industry, which led her to severe depression and then a suicide attempt on her own life the very next year. All because of this narcissist that can't accept no for an answer and can't see nobody else except for himself. After seeing the KHALID then the video, Crystal realized she had to do something to prevent this monster from harming any other women or men for that matter. Now, Crystal accepted her moral obligation to speak up for herself and for other victims. Well, kudos to you, Crystal, and hopefully this is valid. I mean, on the brinks of Cassie, because another playing the devil's advocate, if Crystal is lying, this is the perfect opportune time for her to drop this bomb on the heels of that video. Because this is definitely coming on the heels of that video that we just saw. So I'm not sure. I don't know if she's lying or she's telling the truth, but it's a very convenient time for her to drop this bomb. And the mere fact that I mean, don't get me wrong, that's terrible on Diddy, and it's very consistent with his controlling behavior, him being a narcissist and things like that. However, she doesn't go into any other specifics. She go from leaving the bathroom, not discussing how it really went down. She said he wanted her to give him head, this and this, but she didn't say whether or not she did it. She said he wouldn't take no for an answer. And then she go right from there to, I just realized I was in a cab. I lost, I blacked out and I woke up in the cab. So there's a big gaps in the story. And she didn't give a lot of juicy details about any other thing, which leave some questions in there, but I'm not going to discredit her because she could have been traumatized and she may well be telling the truth. But there is some questions in there for some gaps that were left. Now, yes, I would have thought Diddy would be sweating bullets after yet another bombshell lawsuit was just dropped on top of his head. But Diddy is doing Diddy. He's out and about looking unbothered again, making public appearances in Miami, in his little area that he lives in, walking around in all white. And it's crazy because they saw he had a medallion on. And what made the medallion stand out, because not only was it iced out and things around his chain, but it was a picture of young Diddy, a young child, and his father, who's deceased now. In fact, he was deceased. He got killed when Diddy was still a young toddler. So that was ironic that he had that on, dressed in all white, and Diddy didn't fail to impress. He did something for the fans that were watching, of course. He said one word. He didn't say much, and you know that word was love. And he also put up the L, right? The gesture, the love gesture. But in my view, he should be putting up an upside down L gesture, because Diddy Love has now become Diddy No Love, as all these businesses continue to sever ties with you, Diddy. No one wants to be associated with a monster like you, Diddy. So again, I appreciate all y'all, but more importantly, let's look at some of these situations and assess our own lives. Like, yeah, you may not be a monster like Diddy, but there may be some other areas in your life that you can do better. We should always promote our strengths, but develop our weaknesses, because your weaknesses is what's going to hurt you eventually, right? Because we're only as strong as our weakest point. So promote your strengths, because we all want to look good. We all want to feel important, necessary, and sufficient, but develop your weaknesses, right? So if you see any resemblance of anything that's in your life that's not right, that needs to be developed or improved upon, go ahead and improve upon it. Don't allow these situations to gain momentum, and then knock you over the head at the worst possible time, like you're seeing with Diddy. We are all a work in progress. But the thing is, once you stop doing the work, that's when you stop making progress. I thank you so much from the depths of my heart for watching. Please keep watching, because I'm going to keep it coming. You be great, and more importantly, be blessed.